rankings, African best leagues. So Egypt are still on top, and Morocco are second on this list. And Morocco, by virtue of the club's performance, talk about Wydad Casablanca, RS Berkane. In recent time, they've been very, very fantastic in Africa. So Morocco are second. And if Morocco are second on this, let's see, the third strongest league in Africa is Algeria, and they have 114 points. The fourth strongest league in Africa, as I speak, on the CAF ranking system is South Africa, and that is purely because of Mamelodi Sundowns' performance in the CAF Champions League and winning it from the years under review or in perspective. So South African League is fourth on the ranking, and they were fourth last season. So in terms of the top three, top four, they have been very stagnant without moving because of the points they have accumulated. If you check on the fifth on the list is the Tunisian League. So in Tunisia, they have also accumulated 87 points. And so now we've moved from the 100 points or the centenary points to 87. That's Tunisian League. And the best movers in the last 6 or 7.
Ebusia fuyomo obibia kwaba indesu yede agode munsam ne yede babosumo international news or your football international news ne de babosumo in a local football news so yade babosumo in there in a pay ebusia yebe pede be jembo ne ibitei ensama yade be de yade ba abosumo ebusuafo oye Sadiq Adams o di football mu akotin papa when football mu papa and no onchel bia oka homa woka demonstration about Ghana football what the Ghana football of an etampa or the fra no den sembi about to gwa of CAF association ranking football nansing oye Dreams FC wako boy ma Dreams FC would inkunyim share 2 goal ma other team no oshakol na Sadiq Adams or the inchiremu bi or da babo to ga ebusua yente nsama Sadiq Adams or the babo to ga offer CAF association ranking no ho se elehwe nsama Sadiq Adams or the to ga the fa CAF football association ranking no ho oli chirema osi there Egypt in our ranking no wada first Egypt in our ranking no wada first mo otodo second or ye Morocco no one so ranking no what to do second mo otodo iwo CAF association ranking no mo otodo third oye Algeria. Yes, in South Africa no so what to do fourth ewo CAF ranking no South Africa to the fourth. In Tunisia no so otodo fifth na ehwe Tanzania no so to the sixth. In Algeria no so otodo eighth. In DR Congo no so auto the 7th. In the Sudan so auto the 9th. In the Libya team so what to the 11th. In the Ivory Coast what to do 13. Na the mensami be na Sadiq Adams odi tugwa no tugwa no all be chiremu there Ghana or we nusum da Ghana butum wehu akosol ebusua yenhwe Ghana so neze yenhwe nsama Sadiq Adams okefa Ghana so ranking no ho inti no se yelehwe Ghana so ranking na wowa sisia no yebohwe Libya were the first in Libya the 10th in Ivory Coast the 11th in Nigeria were the 12th in Guinea so were the 13th Ghana yeda 14th intino Sadiq Adams lichiriman in there say if se Ghana yibutum yakọ ni yakweki ya kai kapa Guinea hu ya pa Nigeria hu a owe nusum de Ghana yibutum yakɔ finals dame nsɛm bi na Sadiq Adams de tuga ebusua yɛnkɔ no yɛnkɔ nkitei nsɛm a Sadiq Adams ɔde tuga abra ɔlekyerɛ CAF ranking nsɛm no mu no abra ɔlekyerɛ yɛnkɔ nkitei nsɛm ɔde tuga yakra on baba
news. And there is a good news I would want to pass across to sports loving fans, especially football loving fans. There is this issue about the CAF 5-year ranking. So the Confederation of African Football, they have a 5-year ranking where they put all national leagues in a system where the top 12 of those national leagues are picked. So the countries that are in the top 12 of the CAF 5-year ranking system. So it's just like a replica of the national team's FIFA ranking. So when you come to CAF for seeding and draw purposes, the national leagues are ranked in order of ratings, as in to see which national league is the strongest. And by virtue of that, the top 12 teams on the continent, or top 12 national leagues, are supposed or expected to provide 2 winners, 2 clubs from their national championship. So the winner of the league plus the first runner-up of the league. So the first on the league and the second on the league. 2 teams will enter the CAF Champions League. And when it comes to the CAF Confederations Cup, all these 12 national leagues, the top 12 national leagues, they will have 2 teams from their FA Cup. That is how they want to enter the CAF Confederations Cup. So if it is by the virtue of FA Cup or your national FA Cup, that's where the champion enters the Cup Winners' Cup or the Confederations Cup, then it means that you have 2, the champions of the FA Cup, for instance, in the case of Ghana, and the runner-up in that competition. So you will have 4 representatives on the African continent. That's what it means when we say the CAF 5-year rankings. And for a number of years, Ghanaian teams were representing 4 in terms of the CAF Continental Games or Continental Interclub Continental Championships. So in previous years, you could recall that Kotoko, Hartlepool, Kimfesa, Liberty Professionals, there were times that even Brekum Arsenal, New Edubiasi. So Ghanaian League was stronger then, between 1994, thereabouts, when this ranking system was started, around 94, 95, 96, 97, when Ashanti Gold were in the finals against Raja. It means that Ghana will present 2 from the National League and 2 from the Cup Winners' Cup or from their National Cup Championship. Now we fell off very deeply. The good news is that last year, so this is it. Let's read through a bit. This is how it is. So the association ranking for the 2024-2025 CAF club season, this is how it's going to be. So the association ranking for the 2024-2025 CAF Champions League and the 2024-25 CAF Confederations Cup will be based on the results from each CAF club competition from 2019 to 2020 to then 2023 to 2024 season. What it means is that CAF is going to tabulate the performance of the national teams or national leagues per their club representation in Africa, in both the Champions League and the Confederation. CAF is going to tabulate that, and when they tabulate that from 2019 to 2024 per the performance of your clubs in Africa, then the points will rise depending on how they perform. If you fail to perform, the points will dip. So in the case of Ghana, this is the good news that I'm talking about. So the CAF Champions League is denoted by what? The CL, and the CAF Confederations Cup is denoted by CC. Then CAF says that associations' points might increase on basis of the club's performance in the 2023-24 season. That is what is currently ongoing. That Dreams FC have got into the quarterfinals and have taken a giant leap against the Malian. Then let's go to the other issues here. Now, let's check and see. So currently, these are the top 12 national leagues in Africa. Currently, the 2024-2025 season. But from 2020 2019 to 2023, this is currently the top 12 national leagues in Africa. So Egypt are on top. They were first last season, so you can see from the position 2023 and 2024. If you check on where the positions are, the first one, they were 2023, they were the first, and 2024, they are still the first because of the points that they have accumulated. Now, Morocco is second on this list. So the Moroccan league will definitely be on the second of this list. If you check, by virtue of Ali, their performances in the CAF Champions League in recent times. So the Egyptians have accumulated so many points, 159 points for Egypt if you check on this. So it will be very difficult for them to be deposed from the top of the rankings, African best leagues. So Egypt are still on top. And Morocco are second on this list. And Morocco, by virtue of the club's performance, talk about Wydad Casablanca, RS Berkane, in recent times, they've been very, very fantastic in Africa. So Morocco are second. And if Morocco are second on this, let's see, the third strongest league in Africa is Algeria. And they have 114 points. The fourth strongest league in Africa, as I speak, on the CAF ranking system is South Africa, and that is purely because of Mamelodi Sundowns' performance in the CAF Champions League and winning it from the years under review or in perspective. So South African League is fourth on the ranking, and they were fourth last season. So in terms of the top three, top four, they have been very stagnant without moving because of the points they have accumulated. If you check on the fifth on the list is the Tunisian League. So in Tunisia, they have also accumulated 87 points. And so now we've moved from the 100 points or the centenary points to 87. That's Tunisian League. And the best movers in the last 6 or 7 years have been the Tanzanian League. If you check on the ranking, the Tanzanian League was sixth last year, and they are still sixth this year. So Tanzanian League is in the middle of that 12 ranked teams. They are sixth on this ranking, and that is purely down to the performances of Yanga and Simba, and in recent times Azam, who have also been very instrumental in the CAF Confederations Cup in recent years. So Tanzanian League is the sixth strongest on the continent, and they have 71 points. And I will come back to how they have been able to rise in the last 6 years. Seventh on the list is the Angolan League, and they were eighth last year. But you know, the Angolan League has risen to a point where the clubs are performing creditably well in the Champions League. So they have moved 1 point up, and the Angolan League is seventh from eighth last year. And now eighth on the league is DR Congo, the Lenafoot. And that is also down to one club, particularly TP Mazembe. Mazembe have been very instrumental in the CAF Champions League, and that's no doubt because we all know how far they have come. So TP Mazembe are eighth on this ranking. It's not TP Mazembe, to be very honest, but they have been very colossal in terms of tabulation for the points for DR Congo. But it is the Lenafoot, that's the DRC league. Now, ninth on that list is the Sudanese league. Quite incredible. So Sudan, even though there's still war in their cities and they are not playing at home, and some of the clubs playing in Tanzania and Saudi Arabia, their league is still the ninth strongest on the continent. And that's from last season. They were ninth. They are still ninth. They have 37 points. And now the 10th on the league is Libya, another war-torn country. Now they have returned to their national stadium and playing a lot of games there. So the Libyan league is also, rising, and they are ninth in Africa in terms of how far they have risen from where they used to be. So Libya are now ninth, and 10th on the league log now is Libyan league. They have moved from 11th to 10th. 11th is Ivory Coast. The Ivorian League is 11th on this list. That's quite funny to know though, but that is also practically down to the performance of which team. That's basically ASEC Mimosa. They have been holding the fourth for the Ivorian League in recent times, and there is no African sports and the others. So when you go to the rankings, the Ivorian League is 11th on the list, but that is also down to this club, ASEC Mimosa. Okay, let's go to the next phase, and that will be the last one for the top 12 ranked teams. So on the 12 ranked team here is what? Nigerian League. Nigerian League, they were 12th last year and they are still 12th this year. They have 25 points. Now this is where it gets interesting. The Guinean League have dropped 3 points. They were 10th last year, and then the Guinean League are 13th. So they have moved out of the seeding zone, the top 12 team, the Guinea League, because of the absence of course, Horoya and the other clubs, Kaloum Stars, but it was down to Horoya in recent times. So they have dropped in the last 3 or 4 years, and that is why the Guinean League have also dropped points. They are now 20 points, and they are 13th. So they have moved out of the top 10. Okay, so let's see. Which team deposed them? It was the National League of Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast have deposed Guinea, and Ivory Coast were 13th. They are now 11th. Quite interestingly, look, which National League is 14th on the list? It is the Ghana Premier League. We are 14th. And check our previous points, our previous rating on the CAF rankings. We were 27th. So it's around 30 leagues that are ranked on the continent, even though there are like 50 national leagues that are being played. CAF ranks around 30 of them. Only 30 are ranked because the remaining national leagues will not have any points. So they will be in joint brackets, like we call it. So 30 national leagues were ranked, and Ghana were 27th. We were 27th out of the 30 ranked teams last year, 2023. We have moved 13 places up to 14th. We have moved 13 places up to 14th. This is what I talk about. This is good news. We have moved from where? 27th to 14th. And we have been the biggest movers. If you check on the list, from 27 to 14, we were with Mauritania. They have also moved. We were joined with Mauritania on 27th, but we have moved from 27th to 14th, and Mauritania have moved from 27th to 17th. So they moved 10. We have moved how many places? We have moved 13 places. That is good news. And that's good news because it is down to Mediama Sporting Club and Dreams FC. Mediama Sporting Club and Dreams FC are largely to be thanked for what has happened to the Ghana Premier League rising on the CAF rankings. And what that means is that, see, so now the Ghana Premier League, let me check the points gap between the 12th and the 14th team. The Ghana Premier League is 14th, and we are behind Guinea, Nigeria. So we have 15 points. That means that we still have to catch up with Nigeria, who are 12 on the list, and Ivory Coast, who are 30 points. It will be quite difficult to catch Nigeria because they are 25 points, Guinea are 20 points, and we are 15. And it's difficult. If you look at the calculation for the coefficient of it, you need to win games in group stages, in quarterfinals, in semifinals. It keeps increasing as you progress. So what I can say is that Dreams FC have won against Stade Malien in the quarterfinals. If they win in Kumasi, it means that Ghana will have maybe an additional 1 point or 2 points, and we will be in touching distance with Guinea. If we get closer to Guinea, they are 20 points. Horoya are no more in the CAF Confederation Cup and Champions League. So it means that they will be stagnant. But if Dreams FC can progress, if they can progress a bit further in the competition to even the semi-final or final, then it presupposes that there will be the likelihood of Ghana National League catching up with Guinea. And then we will be looking at the Nigeria will be in sight from that point, Nigeria will be the team to be in sight because we are catching up with Nigeria before we get to the site of Ivory Coast. That is why it becomes quite difficult. But I can say that this is quite some good news. So now, you can see from the list, this is the official list from the CAF rankings. So there is Egypt, there is Morocco, there is Algeria, and then there is South Africa. There is Tunisia, there is Tanzania, Angola, DR Congo, Sudan, Libya, Ivory Coast, Nigeria. Ghana have risen from 27th to now 14th. So we have 2 places to catch, and that's 5 points. If Dreams FC are able to win, maybe we'll have just 1 point, or we will catch up with Guinea, and then we look forward to next year. How can we catch up with those in the top 12? It will be very difficult, but then not too difficult if we become strategic. If clubs qualify, what we will need to do, we will first have to understand, we will first have to understand the goodness that comes with being in the top 12. If you are in the top 12 of the CAF rankings, at the end of the Ghana Premier League, the champions and the runner-ups are entering automatically into the CAF Champions League. And then the MTN FA Cup champions and the runner-ups are entering automatically into the Confederations Cup. So you have 4 clubs. And at every weekend, there is going to be 1 or 2 games or 3, 4 games at a go. The football economy. And you are going to have players, large platform for players to exhibit their talent. If 4 clubs are participating, it means that if each club registers 25 or 30 players, 30 times 4. So you have 30 times 4 players who are going, that's 120, right? You are going to have 120 Ghanaian players who are going to have a platform to be seen on the continental scene or even global scene. That's going to increase their values, provided that they are able to showcase their talent and perform creditably well in the Champions League and the Confederations Cup. That is how it used to be. Growing up, I was seeing dwarfs in Africa. I was seeing Kotoko, Hasselhoff. At a point, clubs will enter. Hazakes will be in the CAF Confederations Cup, or then it used to be called the Cup Winners' Cup. So it comes with so many opportunities and advantages, not only for the players, but even for the national economy. Just imagine that there is a CAF Champions League game in, say, Tekendi Takrady or Takwa for Mediema. There is another Champions League game for Samatex if they are able to be second or win the league. Or there is a Champions League for Hasselhoff in Accra. There is a Champions League for Asante Kotoko in Kumasi. That is how it used to be when we were growing up. So at the end of every weekend, there is a big Champions League game in either Kumasi or Accra. Either Kumasi or Accra, there is also Liberty Professionals who are playing Ferroviario de Maputo. There is Kinfesa who are playing Power Dynamos of Zimbabwe. So there was always a football festival. So what I believe is that we must be strategic. This is not a FIFA ranking where the opportunities are very limited in terms of only for ranking purposes. This is for the inclusion and representation of your national league clubs in Africa. And we must be strategic in getting back to our previous position. We used to be the best league in Africa around 92, 93, when Hasselhoff, Kotoko, Dwals, Ashanti Gold were all in there. Now we have fallen off from 1st to 27th. It took so many years, like 20 years. And now we are getting back. So we need to be strategic. Clubs that perform poorly in Africa need to be supported. What do they need? Is it in terms of logistics? Is it in terms of expertise? We are having a lot of people with the expertise in our game now. What do they need? We need to motivate the clubs more. Because if they play in Africa and get money, they come back to play better football, and they go to have a taste of what it means to play against Ali. Now, Mediema have tasted it. And believe me, Moses Parker is going to invest more because he's going to see or have a taste of what it feels to play in the CAF Champions League and the advantages in terms of economics and monetary value of it, in terms of the mileage and traction it gives to the clubs and even the vicinities or communities they come from. But when you have only 2 clubs participating, it's always difficult. because one in Champions League, one in Confederation Cup. Preliminary stages and you are out of the competition. So I believe the Ghana Football Association needs commendation for how far Mediema and Dreams FC have been able to bring us back from 27th to what? 14th. Now we need to be strategic. If the clubs qualify, there should be motivation for them. The Ministry of Sports have been sponsoring clubs in a way, but I don't think it's enough. We need to put the money at the point where the clubs will be able to get to the money zone and come back to pay into the national coffers. So if we are giving $300,000 to the clubs, knowing that when they qualify to the money zone, $500,000 is available or guaranteed for them, the clubs will be eager to qualify to the money zone, pay back the ministry's money, whether in installment or upfront, or then use the remainder of the money to play. And every game in the group stages comes with its own largesse and financial consideration. So I am very excited, very happy. This is good news for Ghana football. We need to commend the clubs, particularly Mediema and Dreams FC, for how far they have brought Ghana from 27th to what? To 14th. And we need to go back to where we used to be. Now we have 2 more national leagues to catch up into the top 12. This is good news. And when we fell off, we were very critical. Now that we have risen, we need to be very critical. We are going to, depose Nigeria. This is the Nigeria League, of course. Nigeria there, look. So this is the Nigeria League. We are going to depose Nigeria and Guinea and enter. So when we fell off in the CAF 5-year rankings in the last 10 or so years, we have been very critical. When they come back, or when they start making the rise, when they start getting back to where we used to be, we need to commend them and also put strategies in place, make them understand the importance of having 4 clubs playing in the continental or inter-club competitions. This is good news, and commendations to whoever has contributed from the GFA, Dreams FC and Mediema for what they have done in the last year or 2. I'm sure that the club that will qualify for the CAF Champions League next year should be well supported. If it's a club that is not so interested in playing in the CAF Champions League or Confederations Cup, then they should make way for clubs that are interested and eager to play, to make the requisite investment in terms of playing in Africa, because we need it to grow our game. When we fall off from Africa, it's like not playing in the AFCON or the World Cup. You fall off, your national team will be weakened because you are not playing better opposition. So it comes with so many advantages for our league if we will do this. So those clubs that are going to win the league this season, they need to be very strategic. The FA should be very considerate in supporting them, and even the Ministry of Sports is a national project. We need 4 clubs to play every weekend in Ghana to boost the local economy, as well as boosting our football for the advancement and growth of our football. So congratulations to the clubs for getting this far. I'm sure that Mediema are out already, but Dreams FC will progress further to earn us more points, and this is exactly what we want. Next year will be super, because the club that will qualify will look at this and say that we are not just going to enter. Kotoko na ya na emi ngwa. That's anti Kotoko. Once they enter Africa, preliminary stage, preliminary stage, the first game, it's quite incredible. What's wrong? Maybe we have to look into that the next time. But other clubs that qualify, Mediema particularly and Dreams FC, they have done very, very well. Thank you very much. So this is a good news. And I said, once we share stories when they are negative, when there is good news, we equally need to comment and also strategize in how to get better in our football. So thank you very much for watching, and Ghana football will keep rising. Thank you very much.
In summer, Sadiq Adams or the two the far Cap Confederation na wobe no ho na order to no nti da men semi bi na order to gwa ebusua yes ya ha your Wisdom TV ya be pedal subscribe to our channel na ma bibi the video tuma waso wonsa kan na tum ahwebi na ete no mu nsam na de bi da acheche wo wre yes abibia na de nsam a no mu do nsam a oye nije nsam a omoma woso akoma to yem na woso wonwa age football ho kote na de bro. Share the video and also put your comment at the comment section. Yes, want to say thank you for watching. Bye bye.